Hello and welcome to another turn of the False Pretenders. I'm the False God. Joining me is Arpathius.
Hello, I'm joining the False God.
Yes, and we are coming in on turn 25. So last time Hinam was trying to sort of have a bit of a fighting retreat after being double elfed in the Agartha lands. We got a bunch of messages related to that. Got Pelagia and Satis. All right, let's start with the Hinam message and go from there.
Of course.
Paid for not having PD on the fort. The fort didn't lose siege strength, so I assumed there was nothing much on top of it. Didn't want to lose the small stack to TNN. Many more dead elves to come. Stay tuned. Yeah, there's a lot of elves to kill. That stack from Vanheim, though, is still super scary and has not even really entered the theater yet.
No, I'm not sure. We haven't really seen an army that Hinnom has together yet that can fight that, I don't think.
Right.
All in one place.
Right. All right, pair messages from Vanheim. Enlarged being cast in the milk carts is interesting. I was expecting regen, but I guess Hinnom was more worried about the air elemental than running into bands of strength giants. Yep.
Yep. I think that's fair because it's something that works against both TNN and Vanheim.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas regen would be more useful just against Vanheim, I think.
Sure. And I mean, the problem is you have to respect depending on where the research is, right? They can, it's not necessarily that hard to teleport in, right? To trapeze in and drop the air elemental. So you just have to respect that.
Yeah.
All right. The other one, the script of the milk cart was stone skin instead of iron skin. So he may not have as much research as I thought he did. No physical resist, only 15 nat prot instead of 20 means GSS will have an even easier time killing his SCs. Yeah.
So I think that actually he's casting Stone Skin on purpose because it doesn't give you the minus to shock when he's against elves.
It's true.
But he does also have pretty bad research, right? So
his research is also bad.
Yeah.
It could be column A, column B. I think the problem. I don't remember how much shock res Hinnom has on the bless. But 15 prot is going to have a hard time holding out too long against a lot of enemies, especially without regen.
That's true. I mean, they have the armor as well, but
of course.
Either way, I think great swords of sharpness are going to do pretty well against whatever protection he's running with.
Yep, I think that is true. All right, well, let's watch some battles. Got Agartha coming out. Oh, this is a sad force. This is a sadder force. All right, Agartha. Back on the map. Ooh, we'll come back to this. It looks like Caelum has gone in on Ulm. But let's stay with the conflict.
Yeah, I'm going to hold my comments on that.
Yeah, we'll come back for that. All right, we've got another ungeared She-Lord against 1 PD. I like his odds. I'm not going to watch it. Vanheim attacking Hinna. Ooh, this is a dangerous looking stack.
Yeah, that's making me nervous. He's got a Vanadrot as well.
He's got a Vanadrot with a lot of Earth Gems. So this could be
Strength of Giants, like
yeah.
you're saying.
Strength of Giants is going to cost 2 gems for the first cast because you have to do Earth Power first.
Will he do an extra one to reduce fatigue as well?
So he might. Yeah, it's true.
Might not cause gem usage though.
No. I mean, there's nothing here. This won't cause gem usage. If you can bait this though, there's it's a pretty expensive way to get Strength of Giants going. Like let's assume it doesn't use the extra gem, he's still going to be using at least 2 gems to get just 1 Strength of Giants off. And
with the size of the army though, it will hit basically everything.
Yeah, it should hit just about everybody. If he uses the extra gem, he's only got 2 uses.
This is also early age. I think Vanheim starts with some Earth income as well.
Sure. So. He certainly, yeah, that's true. Right, we'll come back to that one. All right, let's see. Ami, a barb chief, bunch of swordsmen. This is a big army from TNN. A lot of
So
elves.
he didn't choose to go after the Hinnom army with his main force, TNN. He chose to go
Yeah.
for the fort instead,
Yep.
which is pretty reasonable.
Makes sense. I mean, you know, it's in the classic XV1 scenario where you're, you know, regardless of how committed you are, you're kind of hoping the other person has to fight their stack. Van Hurst and some Van here. Ooh, this She-Lord doesn't work.
We need to keep a counter on how many thugs the elves lose.
Air Shield.
Yeah, so Hinnom's doing a nice job of sending out a little force with a single army every time as counter raiding.
He is, but this
And he's having some success with it.
he is. I don't know what. And this army must be. He's gonna do like lightning bolts, maybe. He did an air shield. This guy has 5 SR, so I think the game will still cast lightning
He's a
bolts at
hero
him.
as well. So what's
Oh,
his?
is it? Oh yeah, he has a heroic ability, Valor.
Not useful here then.
Not gonna help him out here. Yeah, it is lightning bolt. But he is going to get overwhelmed here, I think. The Ami is now moved into close range lightning bolting. But okay.
Okay, but that was a great trade.
Yeah, here's the Hinnom army moving. Right, let's go ahead and just take a look at the province now in. Okay.
So that looks to me like that's sort of an aggressive route move towards TNN because he could have just gone south into that province there with the Hinnom army. So
yep. Yeah, this is
interesting.
It's another turn farther away from getting home. Now let's take a look. Do we think this can beat the TNN army? It's pretty large. Got this nice...
with a Melkart, all things are possible.
That's true. So write that down.
He'll also, if he just has attack rear, it's very likely he outflanks and wraps around the TNN army. I think
that's true. Coming back to one of our earlier points, he has 15 SR. Even if you lose 5 and go down to 10, I think the AI will not lightning bolt you. Like 10 is enough that the AI is not super interested in using that particular damage type.
No, it does seem reasonable that Vanheim could have Thunderstrike there.
True, but I think I've run into the same I don't know what Thunderstrike's cutoff is, but I thought it might also be 10, and it also, if your own army surrounds the Melkart, you guys are like, oh, I don't want to shoot all my own guys.
Yep. Air elementals, because if they're both size 6 and they're attacking, can stun you if you have.
Oh yeah, the air elementals
15 is a lot safer.
That's true. That's fair.
I think the stone skin is the correct suit.
Let's. Did he do it in this one?
Yeah, I'll keep thinking that until
he gets chopped up.
Until one dies, but yeah.
Stone skin. Okay, so he's a 29 prot here. It's a pretty good amount of prot.
Yeah, and he'd only really get another 2 or 3 by doing iron skin.
Yeah, I guess as the total. And he should be, if he's getting enlarged, he should be big enough that most people can't hit him in the head, which is his weakest area.
Yes.
Okay, so the Hinnom army took kind of an aggressive move. Agartha is out.
I like it, though, I think, because it protects that core territory by having the front move up.
Yep. Oh, and he's been so successful sort of at home against the TNN elves. He may not be as worried.
Yeah, I think TNN really wants to take out that Barb province.
Yeah, I mean,
just TNN, so they can connect up all their raiding.
Yeah, I do not love this deep raiding.
Although, to be fair, he's not losing out on much from that province with 7 income, so...
He is not. But, yeah, I don't love trying to fight a war when you literally have no retreat route home, because there's a barb. He's trying to
Oh,
take.
and Vanheim did sail
Yeah,
as well.
Vanheim did sail. So, and this is, I assume, the bigger. No, this is just 7. So this is just a raiding force. Do we think he? Let's see, because he had his whole big army was like somewhere over here, wasn't it?
It was in the forest.
The
So
forest.
yeah, so
So
I think
it
it
all
must
could
have
have sailed.
stealth. Yeah, it could have gone there.
I mean, it
He
still
must
could
be
have. It could be stealthed, yeah.
yeah, or he could be next to the throne.
Yes, he could have also moved some other way. If it's just these 7 guys, right?
Is that the demon gate? Is that a blood
This is
type?
just no. This is just the one where you
Oh no, we
summon the
looked it
Fiend
up
of
before.
Darkness.
Okay, yeah. I just got excited there.
No, just the Fiend. We can do some more raiding with this. 30 guys, 30 long dead. It looks like most of Hinam's army is currently long dead at home. Except he got 40 swordsmen here, I suppose. Okay. Has he gotten any magic yet?
No, well, he'd have to send a lot of the mages out to do counter raiding, isn't he? So it's going to be
He
tough for him
has.
to get some more.
That's true. You can see him kind of about, but it's gonna be tough.
We can see another Melkart in his cap though, so it's good that he's got another one of those.
That's true. And I think if he uses them in the army like he's doing with this one, that's gonna make like Vanheim's idea of hitting with the Great Sword of Sharpness a lot harder. There's just a lot more troops to eat up that Great Sword of Sharpness, and your Great Sword of Sharpness guy your thug tends to not be quite as safe as, other thugs you might make.
Yes, definitely. So do you think he should keep doing that, or do you think it's worth trying to SC something?
So
because I don't think if he's taking like army on army fights, which I think is what he's encouraging his opponents to do against him if he's moving around with armies. I don't think that's a winning move for him because he'll take too many losses against the greater amount of forces he's against.
It depends. So I think super combatanting is one of those things where you do really have to test each situation. Like you can have a good intuition for it, but you never know what might trip you up. Like let's see, the milk cart here. He's got 2 swords of sharpness, black steel full plate, ranger's boots for reinvig, and then bracer protection. Like I don't know if this guy can. Do we think he could take this army?
I don't think he can.
I mean, I don't think he can either.
He can't without regeneration.
Right. But he does have that. He has that guy there. Like he could.
He does. I don't love the idea, but if he had a different kit, then maybe.
Yeah, I don't know that the kit he has on him is going to be enough. These guys are heading for 18.
Yeah, he needs some AoE if he's going to super combat.
Sure. Yeah, he probably needs construction 4, I think. But it is one of those things where if you can make it work, it's so valuable. You just have to. I think the idea is when you're going to super combat in something, you need to know what army you're up against, and you need to have a plan to beat that army. And then you're not just going to be able to roll your super combatant around like its own force. It needs to be, sort of tailor-made. Because if you just run around with it, it's going to get killed by something your opponents think up, especially if you have less research.
Ideally, you'd have magic phase as well, which
right.
He's definitely going to be a long way off, I think.
I would agree. He's a long way off.
Yep. So, really, I think to survive this, he needs a diplomatic solution, right? So how do you think, or do you not agree?
I mean, it depends. So it depends on how much you can win against some of these. Like if this army could smash this army, which I don't necessarily think it can, but if it could, that would be probably good enough to push Tien out of the war. Agartha does have one army, but unless he goes on like a march to something crazy, he's only going to be
I
able
mean,
to do so much damage.
I
He
would
certainly might, though.
I would offer the idea that that's quite likely, considering he's already destroyed his own cap and is down to one province. I think the odds of that, if I
All
was
right.
the Henon player, I'd be feeling like that's fairly
I'd be
likely.
worried about that one. That's fair.
Mm.
Vanheim. Yeah, let's see. What kind of stuff does he need to beat these Vanheim troops? So they have no cold resistance, no poison resistance.
Yeah, maybe a snakeskin bladder would do if he had.
It's
Is
tough
that
to
construction 4? I think it is, isn't it?
yeah.
That would be one way you could do it, though. I think
They have blood bond. No regen. I think the problem against Vanheim is you just have to survive the choppiness.
yeah, it's going to go up to 26.
Pretty
Yeah,
difficult. I don't know that you can super combatant this at this tech level. I think you're gonna need to use the army, and if you're gonna do that, what are your research options?
I don't love any idea that he can come up with anytime
He needs
soon.
like cheap ranged units
He
that
does.
trade like gold efficiently.
He needs to borrow some late age crossbows.
Well, that would be nice in the early age.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately he does not have. He has powerful, great bows, but they are not cheap.
The DPS and the number of them you're going to have is not going to do it.
Yep. I don't know if he has some kind of cheap short bow options somewhere here.
Yeah, because they've got fire resistance as well, so we can't do flaming arrows.
Yeah, flaming
really.
arrows is not going to do as much.
No.
He doesn't have like.
I don't really have a great idea.
He doesn't have jades or anything, does he? There's no foul, because like foul vapors, if you then with the long dead could hold up for a while, it might poison them all to death. But he doesn't have that natively.
I don't think he does. Because there was some jades,
were up here.
TNN got those. Yeah, I can't remember if there's any on the Yomi border. But there isn't a lab there or anything. So
no, I don't think he has any of those. Well, we're gonna leave this exercise to the reader. Yeah. How do you stop a giant ball of?
I think based off that, his moving the army towards TNN because he's more likely to be able to make them leave the war is a decent decision.
Sure.
Unless he has to fight the Agartha army, in which case.
Yeah.
I think that's the worst scenario. You just don't want to have to fight that Agartha army.
Right. Agartha's got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is a dangerous opponent.
It is. It certainly makes him dangerous, like a caged animal. All right. Well, let's move to some other combat. We've been. I don't want to spend all our time here. Do we want to look at the Satispit first?
That was a lie. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. Let's read their message. Let's read the Satispit.
All right. Bumper cars, make it happen. I think at this point he's realized that they are not in as much. He's not being 2v1'd. He's just being 1v1'd twice.
Yeah, this is just a 3-way battle royale.
This is on his cap, but just a scout. Any other? Oh, let's see. Yomi attacks Marverni with his horseman stack. That looks pretty successful. Attacks Marverni with his Kooni stack. Who's Kooni? Yeah. All right. I'm learning the units. We're getting
learned
there.
The most basic one.
That's the one. You got to start somewhere. And then we have a battle.
Everyone knows the Dioni and the Kooni. You'll get Oni Shugo next.
This guy is probably just like one PD or something. Okay. Oh, there's another pillaging going on. Why?
we both said I think that we would march that army home, but Marverni has better ideas.
He's got better ideas.
Follow the Agartha book, burn everything to the ground.
I feel like I go most games without seeing any pillaging.
It's even better that it's Marverni doing it and not Yomi, even though Yomi is the pillaging nation.
Right. Is he just? This army can still march home, but it's getting a lot. This is scary. 2 Dionis, a lot of Tengus.
Yeah, I for one love this move because I think it's very fitting for this war. In the, also, it would be kind of hard for him to get it. A bit awkward to get it home. Although I think he could have done it. He would have killed those Cooni, right? So
Yeah, he definitely would have beat the Cohen. He's got like 200 guys.
yeah. He's cracked the fort though. So I don't know. Maybe he was not expecting Yomi to keep up this aggression on him. Maybe he just thought, I've moved over here to get this fort. I want to make sure I do get it.
Maybe, but why would you pillage it?
I'm just trying to come up with ideas. To be honest with you,
If you're gonna take it,
this isn't my style, so it's a learning experience for me. To be honest with you,
because if he stormed this, then I think this force is not going to siege it down anytime soon. There's 200 guys here. There's only 80 here.
well, there could be stealthed.
That's true. There could be a lot of stealth troops.
Also, the Tengu have.
They're
I
fly.
think it's more than one. Yeah, they're not too bad. I don't think.
Still, there's 200 guys here. Meanwhile, Satis has gotten up to 200 units again.
Of mainly Amazons.
It's
because it's okay.
It's a lot
Well,
of
I think
mercenaries.
he should maybe send some of those out if he's not going to rebid for them.
Yeah.
I want to see Hannibal charge into
Yes. Send him over
anything. I just love Hannibal. Yeah.
at one of these mountains.
Yeah.
Okay. So currently, right, Yomi sort of holds the general area, but like these have been cut off. This is a huge force. This is a moderate force, but it would beat, I think. Do you think this beats both of these?
Oh, definitely. I think.
Even in the cave? Because these guys all don't care about the cave, and I don't think these dudes see very well in the dark.
Well, how many mages are there, though? There's a few mages.
There are 5 mages.
They're still just doing tattoos, though.
Right.
I
12 attack's actually not that bad. That's better than I thought it was going to be. And invulnerable? Yeah. Okay, 9 attack's more like what I was thinking.
But they would get better. I think they would win, but if he had to fight both at the same time or not, I'm not sure it'd be great for either side, really.
Yeah, I think he, yeah, there's probably a lot of attrition either way. So what are the next moves here?
Yeah, I think I thought you were just about to ask what would I do, and honestly, I've no idea because I've no idea what's happening. I would just stare at this in confusion for about 5 minutes and
then ask for an extension.
Come back to it a few hours later once I thought about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think as Satis, maybe you just research and let them kill each other for a bit, and then see if you can take that other fort back once they've had a fight. And if they don't fight, then you knock off whoever's on the fort.
Sure. Could this be? I mean, if these two armies fight, Satis could have the best army left in the field.
Dominions is a wild game sometimes.
Now, even if he did, I don't think that he's coming back. But
No.
I don't know what's gonna happen here. It's just chaos, and I think we're here for it. These guys are all undead, right? Are these led by undead? They could go in this lake.
Yeah, they've got a Mountain King, I think.
Yeah. I mean, they could just go in this lake and then be kind of a thorn.
Yeah, because Marrows are pretty easy to beat as well, right? So.
I think they're relatively easy, yeah. Now, these guys do have a penalty underwater, but I think they would beat 30 Marrow.
I think they would, and that's a really nice province, actually. So.
Yeah, that's actually a surprising amount of income. Although then you have to hold a path back.
Well, his ultimate aim is to achieve that, so.
Oh, obviously. And this lets you sort of raid this area pretty easily.
It also gives you like a little, if he ends up fighting TNN at some point, he can raid out of that as well, which would be quite nice.
It touches 5 TNN provinces. All right. And we still have messages from Pelagia. Rap sent a message, but the beast is dead. Curse plus a bunch of water elementals did the trick. Yep, it did. Next research target is foul vapors. Yep, foul vapors
Okay,
is
well,
nice.
I think if he can get some poison resistance on his own dudes, then that's definitely one way that he can go on land.
Oh yeah, and he
Against
definitely
these
should be
types of
able to
things.
get poison resistance on his own guys. I'm pretty sure. Pelagia.
I mean, if you can get it researched and stuff.
Yeah, well, I think I mean, it comes with enchantment 5.
Yeah.
So. Doesn't it? No, maybe it doesn't. Where's... Oh, it's Poison Ward. Sorry, it's enchantment. It is on the
I
way
always say
to...
poison resistance on my bless because I've had bad experiences. So
So Vanheim does not have poison resistance. Airmore has no bless, so he definitely doesn't have poison resistance.
He also doesn't. He has nature mages though because he's got the
He
Black Rose
does.
sorceress.
He does.
So,
Vanheim, I don't know if he's found any nature mages. I can't remember off the
I can't
top of my
remember.
head.
Did he have Lizard Shamans? I can't.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't think has poison resistance. And Caelum has so many non-sacred troops that probably wouldn't matter.
It's really just Yomi that you couldn't really do it against.
Yeah, I don't think it would work against him. But the way he's positioned, I don't think he'd want to fight Yomi anyway. I think he'd be much happier fighting. Let's see.
Probably. I'm not sure it makes. If Yomi was the easier one, then
yeah,
I think it's more the matchup rather than the geographic positioning.
That's true.
Anyway, should we go down and have a look at what Caelum's doing?
Yes, that is what I want to see. I'm assuming that this is the fort that he's gone on.
Yeah.
Yes, I think it is. That is a lot of birds.
Okay. Could we just have a look what he's bringing?
Yeah. Okay, he has a lot of Spirehorn archers. Let's check the mages. It's a lot of mages.
Okay, so 4 Eagle Kings.
Let's see. I guess those guys are not the ones who are likely to have gems, but...
They could do air elementals.
That's a lot of air gems. I mean, I assume it's air elementals and storm.
Oh, it's 5 Eagle Kings. Okay. So he's going for storm. It looks like then.
What I was thinking, maybe some point buffing with these astral guys.
They're not. They're in a strange place if they're going to point buff.
Yeah, I guess not. They don't have any gems though. Yeah, summon storm power. A storm is coming.
Astral Geyser is pretty good as well.
Yeah. It's a neat one. Yeah, I see thunder strikes, lightning bolts.
Yeah, so a bit of anti-synergy, having all the archers and then planning to cast storm.
Yes, because storm immunity doesn't help the archer, right?
No, it doesn't. Well, it doesn't have the bow.
Yeah, it doesn't help the bow. It may just be that the archers are mostly here for siege strength, and his expectation is to win with the mages. And like the archers do what they can. So he did go.
Yeah.
He decided.
I just want to talk about how do you feel about the fact that he's just concentrated everything on one fort instead of doing an attack over maybe like half a dozen provinces.
Right. I would have thought you could make this work over the half a dozen provinces.
Yeah. Especially with your siege strength, you could probably crack that fort anyway.
Right.
With a lot less troops.
Right. I mean, he's got 500 troops here. I would.
Yeah. He's actually almost certainly. Could he be probably starving on that?
He might. Yeah, 168. I would think that he's starving. Yeah. I mean, this will definitely crack the fort, and I'm sure he'll win. I think you could have achieved this outcome while also hitting just about, these 5 provinces as well, if not more.
Yeah, I mean, he could have maybe focused with an Eagle King as well. Like, he didn't necessarily have to send troops if he didn't want to do that. I think
Yeah,
troops would have worked
yeah. You could do air
just as well.
elementals. Um, you just send in somebody with some air elementals, and also like
Caleb has a lot of tricks. I
he
think
does.
shutting down, maybe that citadel, maybe jumping on the cap, shutting down more of the production.
Right.
Um,
That's what I was gonna say. He can tell how much is in here because he's got this border, and then you just you move the scout or whatever. I would have thought you. Yeah, I mean, we know there's one PD, and he should be able to see the message that says that it's lightly defended. I would think that it would be great to shut this down. I don't know exactly how much it would take to send an army that shuts down. So there's I would imagine it is unlikely that Ulm can be patrolling with mages on his capital because he doesn't even know he's at war. So they've got to
Agreed.
be researching. I don't. Maybe he could be patrolling with the rest of his stuff. It's possible, but I think there's a pretty good chance that he might not be.
Well, even if he is just patrolling with his troops, that's an engagement you should want to take at the start of the war, right? All
Well,
your
yeah, then you
troops
kill all
and
the
majors.
troops. You just need to send a
Exactly.
bigger force.
Yeah.
But
Well, if he's sending all these majors as well, I think that's a trade you want to make.
yeah, I think that I think that this is gonna work. I think there's also approach where you hit more provinces and you look to hit all three of Ulm's forts and shut down his. Oh no, there's one over here. Hold on, I take it back. This one you can't hit, and this one's gonna keep all the income going.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
won't be able to. You could
You,
still
you,
hit
you
all
can't you
these.
can't stop the whole
You
income,
can't
but
stop the whole
you can
income.
stop like over three-quarters of the production.
Yeah. 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 Well,
Can we just have a look how much PD? Because he's only got one PD on that fort and the citadel. Can we just have a look how much Ulm is using?
he is using one.
Okay.
So I mean, from here, I mean, Caelum could have put the whole thing. He could have taken all these provinces in one turn against one PD. Even the
Yeah,
throne is one PD.
that's a risk.
Um, he is luck, but sometimes you get unlucky even with luck. So, I mean, I think this is gonna work, but at least certainly in taking this forward, I think it was possible you could have done a larger blow, but
Yeah. Now, with that said, this is still great for Caleb, right?
yeah.
They're gonna get that fort because Ulm can't really. Don't think they can reach through a forest. Do they have forest survival?
Mm,
I don't know. They might be able
they
to,
might.
but I don't think they have enough. That's only 130 troops there.
It's also cold.
I think they have snow.
Yeah, I think
Pretty
that's
sure
they
what.
have forest survival. They've got snow move. So they
Okay.
might have been able to make it. But he does have so he's also got an eclectic mix here of long dead,
Yeah, Killer
killer
Mantis,
mantis.
Fine Man. They're not going to be able to move through two
Right, they're
provinces
not gonna
anymore.
have that. So
Yeah.
yeah. I think he could have hit more stuff, but I think this is certainly gonna take the least attrition.
It is. I think this
Did he
is.
take any losses here? I
I
assume he must have.
think this is still good. I just think it could have been better.
Yeah. I assume, yeah. I said all of his losses were friendly fire.
Oh, there were actually. That wasn't just PD. Okay.
Oh no? Oops. Oh, you're right. So so Ulm was patrolling with these guys, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why you just patrol with that small amount, or why you wouldn't just put more PD in instead.
Right. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Well, I think that this fort's gonna belong to Caelum next turn. And then we'll see. I assume he's gonna from here
Yeah,
like
I think
starburst
he'll
out.
take that and then fan out afterwards because he doesn't particularly want to go. The province in between that fort and Ulm's Cap, he doesn't really want to go in with a raiding force, and then the others are a little bit far away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he took everybody. Like he could also, he could have had like troops here or like here. ready to fly in kind of deep, but okay. Well, we'll see what Ulm. Where are Ulm's armies?
Well, he lost a lot on the
Lost a lot on the
throne,
throne.
right? And then I think he
just lost 20 guys here.
He's also been. Is he making he's making another fort on the throne, right? So he's.
No.
Oh, is he not? Okay. I was going to say he must have spent it a lot on infrastructure, but then I'm not so sure.
And this was free.
Yeah, his expansion was kind of a little bit slower. He's a little bit smaller than other people.
That's true.
But I'm not really sure.
Let's see. Yeah, he's actually of our living players. He's at the bottom. Let's see. What does he have that might help him out though? He's up there in forts. They're tied.
Can we see the army size actually? Because then we can see.
I think we know how the army size is gonna look.
No, but we can see how much Ulm has got. So he does actually have a decent.
He does, army. Although a lot of his army size is gonna be made up of Great Bears, Vinemen, Killer Mantis, which I think
they're not
punch above their weight
really
in army size.
Yeah. Yeah, it's rough. He has to talk to her more, I think.
Yeah. What do you think he's trying to do with these Killer Mantis? I've honestly never seen them.
I think he just wanted bodies.
Okay.
And just wanted to gem dump into something.
What research?
Otherwise, I'm not really sure why you get them.
Okay. So what do we think? So I think Caelum, Caelum has some options, but I think he's in a great spot. What do we think Ulm can do here?
I think he can talk to her more and be like, "Dude, you really need to come in." I've got to keep repeating that. I think he has to do that. He could maybe talk to Pelagia, but
yeah, he's behind by a decent chunk on research here.
Because to be honest, I don't love his chances. Mainly because Caelum has the mobility advantage and the tempo lead here, so that's why.
Yeah, if all of his troops were on the border, he could maybe try and counter raid, but he's awfully far away, and your armies are liable to get picked off.
Yeah, and Caelum has got a big mage core with this army.
He does.
Also, just getting Thunderstrike, and pretty sure he can cast Storm. So he's got the research he needs. Doesn't really have a great counter to shock either, I don't think.
No, I don't think so. And you can see,
I think he needs allies.
Look at the research graph, right? That's a lot of mages that moved out.
It is, but Caelum has a bunch of forts, and he can.
Oh, he can. Oh,
for sure, he can still make more. Probably macro harder behind this than
can.
Sure. As well.
But I mean, I think that goes into just the bird strategy of let's send everybody. Let's take some, take their infrastructure quickly, have our ability to mass up while they can't, and then hopefully win quickly because we have huge siege strength and get right back to what we're doing. We can afford to bring the extra mages.
Yeah. Now, one thing does have to his definite advantage is that most of his units have stealth, which might be why we can't see everything, and he can maybe catch Caelum unawares with that at some point, and that could be. I think that's his main tool for getting.
I think that's true.
A victory.
Yeah, it's true. We don't know exactly how many stealth troops are around. Although, so we can see, right, 130, 70, 40.
Yeah.
We can see 250 troops, and if we look at the army size,
yes, that's about 500 odd, and Caelum must have 1,200 at least, I would think. So there must be a good chunk stealthing somewhere.
Yeah, I think so. Because if Caelum has 4, but they count as being bigger, right, for the army graph?
They count as size 3, yeah. So
that's like 1,500.
Okay, yeah.
So that's 1,500, and he's double.
That's assuming that's how the army size.
That's true.
Works. So we're not.
It may not work that way. So. If it doesn't work, I mean, if it doesn't work that way, yeah, then, there definitely could be some stealth troops. So we'll have to see what Ulm is able to come out with. Okay.
Yeah, even if he just, you know, goes and attacks a couple of the Caelum forts on his border and forces the birds back, that could maybe.
That could definitely help. Although I don't know, like, if, the birds may also just not be interested, right? Because the birds are also very good at holding up walls. So you might, like, he can.
Yeah, well, just to cut off the production more than you're going to take them.
Sure.
I
But
think he has to fight this with sort of guerrilla tactics, is what I'm getting at.
I'm just thinking that the birds can sort of weather your guerrilla tactics a little bit, and then they can obviously guerrilla tactic behind you even better than you can, at least in terms of how much they can hit quickly. Obviously, they don't do it with stealth, and they can just pop right through your forts.
Yeah, well, I think he's going to find it hard to. No, we haven't actually seen them fight yet, so maybe not. But I think he's going to find it hard to beat Caelum in a straight-up war, and so I think he just has to make this as painful and as long as possible until he can get someone else to stab.
Can he cast foul vapors? He needs. A lot of people need to start casting foul vapors if they're going to live here.
Yeah, I don't think
check
the mages.
I don't think he can. He'd have to have found it a pretty.
I don't think he can. We don't know who what Ulm has as his god though.
We do not. But if it's not up now, it's probably imprisoned, and it may very well never wake up.
The long slumber continues.
He's waiting for the next age. He's going to come around for MA Ulm.
Yeah, I'd feel much better about MA Ulm's chances to.
I would. They have a lot more armor. Although they're going to suffer from the tremendous lightning as well.
Yeah. Okay, well...
Alright, that's that.
Anything else you want to talk about?
Airmore... Still chilling. Blood hunting, I think. Yeah. I mean...
it'd be interesting next turn if we see the troops move north.
If we see something move out, yeah.
And I do think that is the play that Airmore probably wants to make as well. The elves are off fighting Hinnom. Their troops are away. Don't have to worry about them as much.
Right.
It's a good opportunity to go after Caelum.
That's true. That's true. I think it could also be a case though of if Hinnom can inflict a lot of losses here. You send that picture right on over to Airmore, and Airmore's like, oh, Yeah,
especially if you can tell him that you've killed a bunch of the thugs as well.
Right. Tell him that looks tasty. Okay.
I think you would go after TNM before Vanheim as well, because Vanheim would taken the same amount of losses, and he's taken more land as well.
I would agree with that. This is still hasn't popped this fort yet. Working on it. Okay, I think that's everybody. We didn't miss any messages, right? Nope. I think we're good to go. Nice. Anything else from you?
No, I'm good.
Okay, all right. Well, then thank you everyone for joining us, and we hope to see you all in the next one. Have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.